Well, Kentucky Senator Rand Paul throwing his hat into the ring for 2016. He is expected to officially announce a White House run on Tuesday, but he may have his work cut out for him as he's trailing in the latest Fox News polls. When asked who they favor for the GOP nomination, 15% of Republican primary voters chose Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker. Former Governor Jeb Bush, Dr. Ben Carson, Senator Ted Cruz, and former Governor Mike Huckabee round out the top five. Senator Paul, by the way, is in sixth place with 9% of the vote. The Fox News political insiders are back. John LeBoutillier, Pat Cadell, and Doug Schoen. So, John, I want to ask you first, would you agree with our pollsters there? Would you say that Rand Paul is coming in at number 6, or would you place him higher?
Well, the poll is the poll. I think they don't mean much other than name ID at the moment. These announcements and the little attention that the candidate gets, like Ted Cruz got Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday, it boosted him in the polls the following few days. I guess the same thing might happen with Rand Paul and each one of these candidates, which is good. Let the public learn about them and see them directly and hear what their message is. The problem is, as the three of us have been saying, we have yet to hear a compelling message from any candidate in either party at all that addresses what's bugging the American people. And it makes me repeat what I said on here before. The next president of the United States is not even in the race yet, and we're not yet talking about him.
Do you know who you're talking about? Would you like to let us in?
No, but we'll he's warming up in the bullpen.
Okay, so I'm just waiting. I just want you guys make predictions on this show. So if we could make some history here, I mean, have at it. Let me ask you about foreign policy. This is a central topic, of course, will be a hot topic in the 2016 election. I want to know how you guys believe Rand Paul would stack up against his competitors when it comes to this top voter issue. Doug?
Yeah, I think, Julie, that's exactly the right question. Rand Paul has been an isolationist historically, not wanting to get America intertwined or involved in foreign wars and conflicts. With the rise of ISIS, the expansion of terrorism, this is now a huge liability for him, particularly in Republican primaries. So I think this is a huge, huge challenge. But that being said, Julie, this race is wide open. Anyone at this point can win. The fact that Scott Walker and Ben Carson are doing as well as they are is more a reflection of anger of the Republican base to the party and all the candidates, not any endorsement of their policies or candidacies.
But if we talk about foreign policy experience, and you know this is going to come up, some might say Scott Walker and Chris Christie, for example, don't necessarily have that kind of experience as state governors. Marco Rubio, by the way, who is set to announce his run for next week, does have more experience. Marco Rubio, put him up against Rand Paul. You tell me, John.
Well, Marco Rubio's sort of been captured by the neocons, so he's in one extreme, and Rand Paul, as Doug said, is an isolationist or trying to move off of that. I have to think the Republican Party and America is in between the two extremes. Wouldn't you agree, Pat?
Yeah, let me just say, one of the things that I've been looking at in the polls that's very significant, if you look at the Washington Post poll, which is overly Democratic, it's historically and notoriously so, has Hillary way ahead. Fox has it much closer. But if you look at the undecideds in CBS and even in the ABC poll, and we have a much less independence, I'll tell you this, no person running as a Democrat or Republican is getting a favorable response from the 38 to 50% of the electorate that considers itself independent. That's a sign they want something different. And yes, foreign policy will be an issue. And so far, no one has articulated a great message. And it does hurt. I agree with Doug. Hurts.
All right, you guys.